Get ready for cargo shots from the Strat Times, presented by Hactl. Here's a weekly roundup of the latest air freight and logistics news.
What is the new destination for Lufthansa Cargo's A321 freighters? European aircraft manufacturer Airbus has reached a new milestone in the A350 freighter program. And what record did Transport Logistics set in Munich? Stay tuned with us as we discuss the top interesting stories of this week from the world of air cargo. I am Nikita Sebastian and you are watching Cargo Shots presented by Hactl. Lufthansa Cargo is expanding its global reach through a new partnership with IATA Airways and a growing freighter network. Announced at the Transport Logistics Trade Fair in Munich, the corporation will boost Lufthansa's belly cargo capacity by nearly 20%, equivalent to adding 3 freighters. From 16 June, Lufthansa Cargo will market IATA's cargo capacity on flights from Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires to Rome, which will become Lufthansa Cargo's 5th European hub, joining Frankfurt, Munich, Vienna and Brussels. In network expansion, Lufthansa Cargo is adding Beirut to its A321 freighter schedule from July 3rd with a weekly service from Frankfurt. The carrier also reported strong growth in time-critical and industry-specific logistics in 2024, including pharma, semiconductors and aircraft parts, reinforcing its position as a key global trade enabler. Airbus has completed the first-ever wing set for its new A350 freighter at its Broughton facility, marking a major milestone in the A350F program. Sharing its wing design with the A350 passenger aircraft, the freighter benefits from composite technology that reduces weight and improves efficiency. The completed wings will be flown by Beluga XL to Bremen for final equipping and then to Toulouse to be attached to the first test aircraft. Airbus is building 2 A350F test aircraft that will undergo flight testing throughout 2026 and 2027. Designed with a 4.3-meter wide cargo door and capable of carrying up to 111 tons over 8,700 kilometers, the A350F promises at least 20% lower fuel burn and emissions. Entry into service is now expected in late 2027. In his first detailed interview since becoming Boeing's president and CEO in August 2024, Kelly Ortberg expressed confidence in delivering the remaining 74 metal-wing 777 freighters before the ICAO emissions rule deadline in 2027. Speaking at Boeing's Renton plant, Ortberg said production is progressing well, with the company on track to meet certification and customer expectations. Looking ahead, Boeing is preparing to launch the 777-8 freighter by late 2028, featuring composite wings and positioned to compete with the Airbus A350F amid tightening environmental regulations. Meanwhile, Ethiopian Cargo, the cargo division of Ethiopian Airlines, has received its 12th and final Boeing 777 freighter. The aircraft, registered as ET-BAC, is the last 777F ordered by and delivered to the airline, completing its 777 freighter fleet. Nairobi-based Astral Aviation has launched a new Boeing 767-300 freighter service from Hong Kong to Brisbane on behalf of Ausair Cargo, an Australian company aiming to become a leading air freight carrier domestically and internationally. The aircraft flew its inaugural Hong Kong-Brisbane service on May 27 and returned the next day. Operating under an ACMI agreement, Ausair Cargo plans to expand its network to Melbourne, Sydney and Perth soon. The service will support export of high-value Australian perishables like seafood, meat, dairy and horticulture to key Asian and Middle Eastern markets. Astral Aviation CEO Sanjeev Gadia highlighted the route's role in strengthening supply chains and providing flexible cargo capacity. MNC Aviation will act as the general sales agent to market the new service in Australia. Transport Logistics and Air Cargo Europe 2025 concluded in Munich, Germany. The event saw record-breaking participation with 2,722 exhibitors from 73 countries and over 77,000 visitors representing more than 130 regions. Covering 150,000 square meters of exhibition space, it continues to be the world's largest logistics trade fair. The event highlighted pressing industry themes like digitalization, AI, cybersecurity, and sustainable logistics. Exhibitors and visitors alike hailed it as a key platform for high-level dialogue and innovation. This year, Air Cargo Europe gained prominence with 2 dedicated halls, reflecting growing demand for time-critical and e-commerce-driven air freight. The fair was opened by Germany's Federal Transport Minister Patrick Schneider, underscoring its national importance. Organizers and participants described the show as a high-impact meeting point for global logistics players. The next edition will return to Munich from April 26 to 29, 2027. The StatTrade Times also hosted a series of interviews and 2 high-level panel discussions. The International Air Transport Association's 81st Annual General Meeting concluded in New Delhi on June 3rd, marking the first time in 42 years that India hosted the event. Over 3 days, global aviation leaders gathered to discuss the industry's future amid economic, geopolitical, and environmental challenges. The event featured Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who underscored India's commitment to becoming a global aviation hub, highlighting the ongoing expansion of the country's civil aviation sector. IATA Director General Willie Walsh projected global airline profits to reach $36 billion in 2025, signaling cautious optimism. At the event, India's largest carrier Indigo signed a memorandum of understanding with Airbus, placing an additional order for 30 Airbus A350-900 aircraft. Sustainability also took center stage with a focus on scaling up sustainable aviation fuel production to support greener air travel. Thank you for joining us on this week's Cargo Shots. Stay updated by hitting the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and visiting www.stattimes.com for daily news updates. We will be back next week with a new episode of Cargo Shots featuring more interesting stories.
You've been watching Cargo Shots from the StatTrade Times, presented by Hactl. See you next week with more updates from the air cargo and logistics industry.